Bought this ad off of eBay, and I'm bringing it out for this video because I think I have found one that goes back to the 1970s. It's a beauty. I'm pretty sure this is a 72 to 1980 version of the 880 original variant. And yes, you knew I was going to have to try this. I need to restore it. I'm not going to do 100 BBs, but we're going to try 10 at that circle and see what happens. And we got a long ways to go. First, let's verify that this is in fact of a 1970s Daisy 880, and there's ways to find out. The first way is to find the lot number. I don't know what it is right now. The stamping is somewhat faded, so we'll take it downstairs and we'll take a look. Well, we know right away that it's an old one because it's metal. It matches the advertisement. Of course, no diamond pattern, so that puts it in the early 80s or in the 70s. The interesting finish on it is got a bluish color. The butt plate here, it said power line between March 73 and sometime in 1983. Even by 1990, it says Daisy on it. It's a Daisy 880, Rogers, Arkansas, USA. And then you got your Daisy insignia. You also know it's old by the shape of the screws. It's screwed down and the rear ramp is in pretty good shape. But then you try to find the serial number, that's a little more difficult. And it's going to be right there, but there's a patent number there. So I'm going to try a technique I used back when I was a detective in the Army. Magnetic powder, and then I put it over it and lifted it out by using this device here. More than just fingerprints, it'll pick up anything. So guess what it picked up? Now we have the lot number. You can see here it says lot, and that I have to check out the Daisy Web Talk site. That number will tell me when this gun is made. Getting old, folks. I was a freshman in college when this came out. Wow. That's 48 years. I have learned through researching this that when they first came out with the 880, they came out also with the 881. This is what this ad here is. It says the power line 880 and the 881. The top one here is the same as this one over here, and that is your 880. So this one must have been the 881. That the stock that I put on my present day 880 and took off of this was stock originally from an 881. I have found out since that this would change so much that you really couldn't do an accurate restoration, but it has the right parts that can be interchanged. The 880 was a smooth bore, and the 881 originally was rifled barrel, and it was for pellets. In this advertisement here, when it was just the Daisy 880, it was a BB gun. And then we also found this on eBay, the parts manual for both the 880 and the 881. It's got the schematics here, so this will help me when I take it apart. On the parts list, you could order two barrels. One was for the 880 and one was for the 881. One was rifled and one was smoothbore. This one should be a smoothbore barrel. We need to take it apart first. I was just curious what the speed would be after 48 years. So let's see what we got here for one shot. 231.2. I'm not going to do anything with that other than, yep, that's kind of interesting that it held it at least some sort of seal even after 48 years. I'm ready to take it apart and put some new seals in. I got this kit from Ron 06. I'll leave the link where I got that in the description too. It is specifically for the old style daisies. I also got from the same guy a bolt, but it's a brass bolt with an O-ring. It's going to look cool. If you want to do step by step, take it apart, I recommend going to my video on Oops, It's an Old Style Daisy. That one, it was the May 1990 Daisy, and it has not only some of the step-by-step, but it also has reference numerous step-by-step sources. I have it taken apart. These seals are shot. They kind of dissolve there. That's the top of the piston. We'll take a look inside. It's nice and smooth, but it's just filthy where things disintegrated after 48 years. There's oil all over the place. Here you've got motor oil on the lower receiver. Most of the stuff is just wiping it up and replacing seals. Have everything cleaned. I think I've done a decent job of cleaning them up and make this restoration a labor of love. I even shined up the brass tube here. I had to do some severe cleaning. You can see my hands are really dirty. We have a bag full of grimy, and I used a regular Dremel and a knife to scrape the dry rotted. This rubber piece here had totally dry rotted. The old ones used a cast piston, flat top. So I've cleaned it up and shined it up. But this is officially called the valve body because the valve goes in there. These are the valve parts. They were covered in black motor oil. And this is your hex screw. Is a half inch wrench will work just great on it. Right here is the valve chamber. These parts go together like that. There's the old one, uncleaned and dry rot. The new parts are right here. The muzzle end of the barrel had some damage. Even though this supposed 881, it's a smooth barrel. Trade this out. Until at least 1980 that they had the clamp on. You unscrew this. Here's the screw. There's your valve port or your transfer port right there. And then you just clamp the barrel down on it. And here's the barrel side of it. But I just wanted you to see some of these old parts and how nice they look once you get them all cleaned up. One last look at working parts. It's back together. I hope it works. The only change is the brass bolt. The only part that you're going to see of the brass is right there, the brass tubing. A test fire. Now we're going to take it downstairs, see what it does on the chronograph. Well, it worked, but then it lost pressure, and I couldn't figure out why. So I've taken this apart and put it back together probably as many times as a factory worker at Rogers, Arkansas back in the day. Go piece by piece to see which part was not working. Yeah. The original pump tube didn't work, even though it looks really great. The barnyard find that I got for $10 was a blessing because I switched this out. Another part that wasn't working was the valve, the exhaust valve in the original. So I took that out and replaced it and finally did a test. My cheapo one, it works at low speeds, but it won't give me readings at high speed. You can see where I painted this and made it. We're going to eventually try to 10. I don't know if I'm going to make it or not. The first night's test was there when I was losing pressure. And that's what you get with about 500 feet per second. Right now it fully pumps, and I'm going to try one shot. It went through. There you go. You hit down there. I only need to put it together one more time. So finish it up. Hopefully the seal will hold out. I will do speed tests, and we'll get a chance to shoot at that middle target as soon as I get those speed tests done. We've got Daisy BBs and Hornaday BBs shot. We should have a good sample size for the book. Let's take a look at the stats. The first tested was the Daisy Premium Grade BB, the one that you can get in Walmart for $1, and its average speed was 664 feet per second with a kinetic energy of 5.1 pounds and a standard deviation of 3.8. Then we had the Humorex Hornaday black plated precision ground. It weighs 5.1 grains, the same as the Daisy BB. It had an average speed of 683 feet per second and kinetic energy of 5.3 foot-pounds and a even better standard deviation of 3.4. So both of these are pretty good figures. The problem might come with they shot a precision ground BB but they were getting 707 feet per second. Given the figures here, I'm going to go with the Hornaday because I'm getting 683 with 707 feet per second comes to roughly 5.7 foot-pounds. So I'm losing just a little less than a half a foot-pound of energy. But I think we got enough, given that I've already tested it once and it went through. Talking crunch time now, shooting for 15 feet. The BBs that went on through the metal, quite a few of them stuck. A couple bounced back. It still had some energy going through it. That's what I was thinking when I saw that ad. And it is a satisfying feeling. What would happen if I shot 10 Daisy BBs through? Well, here's the results. And some of those went on through too and stuck in. When you think about it, this is a unique period for the Daisy 880. A very short period when it came as both primarily a BB gun, a smoothbore, and at the same time the 881, the rifled barrel. It was meant for pellet. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button and subscribe. Thanks.